coming up on Common Agenda.
Get your daily dose of Lee Pelton news and a memoriam to our beloved Will and Grace set.
Stick around. Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Common Agenda. I'm your host Mariah Terry and boy do we have a special show for you. I'm sure you all missed me after that long week off, but believe me, Common Agenda is back with a vengeance. Okay, I think I've teased you all enough. Let's get down to business. What do you say? President Pelton held a town hall discussion on Monday in the Cutler Majestic Theater to discuss the recent events involving sexual assault in the Emerson community. Students, staff, teachers, and alumni were all present to hear Pelton, along with many others, talk over the issues the community faces. Professor Lori Beth Way, Senior Advisor to Academic Affairs for Undergraduate Education, and Elise Harrison, Director of Counseling and Psychological Services, both gave lectures during the meeting to those in attendance. Sylvia Spears, Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion, Ron Ludman, Dean of Students, and Alexa Jackson, Title IX Coordinator and Associate Vice President for Human Resources, were also available to answer questions from the audience. Emerson student Molly Caron has been cited by Representative Angelo De Amelia and Senator Mark Pacheco as inspiration behind their latest bill. The bill would require that student athletes get a baseline neurological test before they begin playing, so the effects of any brain injury could be fully observed. Caron, a soccer player, received a concussion while playing in high school and spent months recovering. Pacheco told the Patriot Ledger that Caron brought the issue to his attention so that other students in the future wouldn't have to go through what she did. I mean, it's not like this announcement comes as too much of a surprise. If there's one thing that Emerson is known for, it's athletics and neuroscience. Youth theater majors have a chance to get a glimpse of where you might be headed after graduating. Gabriel Rodriguez, an Emerson graduate, is one of the stars of Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Chiara Alegria Hures's latest production of Water by the Spoonful. The play centers on a number of narratives, one of which has Rodriguez in the center as a former Marine trying to break into acting but struggling with the wounds, both physical and mental, that the war left him with. Don Aucoin of the Boston Globe called it a moving, well-acted production, and you can find out for yourself by going to the theater's website, lyricstage.com, and buying tickets to see the play. It began its run on October 18th, but there's still plenty of time to catch it before it closes on November 16th. And if you want some more Emerson alumni work and you are willing to take a train, Emerson class of 1982 graduate Cheryl Collar is directing a play that begins previewing this Friday, October 25th, at the Black Box Theater in New York City. Too Much, Too Much, Too Many focuses on the widowed mother Rose, who locks herself alone in her room, forcing her daughter and a pastor to take care of her through the closed door. If you want to see some Emerson alumni work and you don't mind long bus ride down there, try checking out the play this weekend or when it fully opens in November. Bus tickets are cheap and riding the bus is a great way to meet that special someone. If there's one thing that Emerson has, the library has set apart, is that it has the NBC show set of Will and Grace that has been displayed prominently there since 2008. This week, Robert Fleming, executive producer of the library, announced that the set will be leaving the school and relocating to its Los Angeles campus. This Friday, October 25th, the set will be open one last time for members of the Emerson community to tour inside. For more information on that and to reserve a space, email robert_Fleming at emerson.edu. The set will still be on display until November 1st. After that, we will have to say goodbye. Sorry, I told myself that I wouldn't cry. Well, hopefully we will just get another famous set. I'm hoping for Carrie Bradshaw's apartment from Sex and the City. Fingers crossed. Now we're going to hand it over to Jamie Sanders, whose guest is probably the coolest person I've ever seen. Jamie?
She is pretty cool. You might even say she's too cool for school, except she does attend this school, so not quite too cool for school. I'm here with the lovely, beautiful Bridget Hess-Mahan, who is here representing Emerson College Quidditch. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. I'm super excellent because I get to talk to you about Quidditch. Now, what is the technical term? Was Emerson College Quidditch? Is that correct?
Yep, it's Emerson College Quidditch.
And you are a very important person there. What do you do?
I am the logistics coordinator, meaning I file the permits with the Parks Department, so we have fields to play on every Sunday.
That is extraordinarily important. Now, this might sound like a dumb question, but I'm all about dumb things like myself and my low self-esteem. Anyway, what is Quidditch?
Quidditch is a fictitious sport from J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books. Unfortunately, like in the books, we do not fly. Allegedly. But we do play on broomsticks, and the actual game is kind of like a cross between soccer and lacrosse and wrestling and track, and it's basically a bunch of different sports all into one, so anybody from any sports background can play. We have 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, a keeper, and a seeker. The chasers take the ball and go score in the hoops while the keeper prevents them. He acts like a goalie. Whereas the beaters throw dodgeballs at the offensive players to beat them, and once you're beat, you run back to your hoops.
And the seeker catches the person in goal.
Exactly.
Well, you can check that out on the Boston Common, is that correct?
Yes,
you guys do that
we
in the Common?
plan.
Are
Yep.
you going to be this Friday?
This Sunday.
This Sunday.
From 2 to 6.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now we're going to hand it over to Charlie Brewer to talk about Professor Theodore Life. Now, hold on, I know what you're thinking. Jamie, doesn't Charlie talk about movies? What does this have to do with movies? Well, if you had just let me finish, you strangely high-voiced listener, you would have known that he did this amazing documentary on Taylor Anderson. Now to tell you more about it is Charlie Brewer, who is definitely a girl.
Focus into film, and today we're staying right here at Emerson, but traveling across the globe to Japan to remember an important event, the tsunami of March 11th, 2011. Traveling with us is Professor Theodore Life, creator of the film Live Your Dream, the Taylor Anderson story. So tell us what you did this weekend.
This weekend I just got back from Japan, so this weekend I was kind of struggling through jet lag, 14-hour time difference, and just catching up on, sleep and preparing to come back to Emerson and for classes this week. Yeah.
So why were you in Japan?
I went to Japan because the film Live Your Dream, the Taylor Anderson story, was invited to the Yamagata International Film Festival, which happens every 2 years in Yamagata, Japan. And the film was part of a program called Cinema for Us that was curated by one of the people on the program there. And all these were all films that deal with the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan. So we were picked as one of those films.
As a documentary filmmaker, how have you seen your work and how it affects the audiences?
Well, Live Your Dream is a very powerful film. I mean, it's dealing with, 2 young Americans lose their lives during the tsunami. So it's kind of tragic because the way we've sort of set up the film is that you sort of get to know them and you get attached to them, as people and having this incredible experience in Japan, teaching English and exploring Japan and learning about Japan and themselves. And then suddenly, at some point in the film, you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when you remember what's going to happen, then you get anxious and, all those sort of things start to happen. So, it's always interesting when the film finishes. I've come to realize now that there are no questions anyone can ask right at the beginning. So we often have almost like a debrief for a few minutes of just talking about other things to get people to the place where they can ask a question and make a comment.
Well, thank you very much for interviewing with us.
It's my pleasure.
Right,
Thank you.
Have a great day. So there you have it, folks. Professor Theodore Life, documentary extraordinaire, showing his film Live Your Dream, the Taylor Anderson story, hopefully in the Bright Family screening room. I'm Charlie Brewer for Focus into Film. Back to you in the studio.
Hey guys, I'm Colby Smalzel, and it's time to take a look at all the super exciting, super awesomes, all-star events we've got coming up on and around campus. Here we go. Calling all costumed Emersonians, Friday, October 25th, Emerson is putting on another Cultural Legends Ball from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Little Building Cabaret. The ball honors multiculturalism as Eagle, Amigos, Asia, and Ebony, Emerson's premier culture group, sponsor it. Attendees are asked to come dressed as their favorite legend, as the ball is a chance to show what inspires you and to experience what inspires others in our community. For more information, you can email or call Takesha Morgan at 617-824-8637. Sounds like a great opportunity to give that Halloween costume a dry run. And speaking of Halloween, does your dorm room need a little something extra to make it a bit more festive? Look no further than the pumpkin painting that will be going on the very same day, Friday, October 25th, at the Max Muchnick Campus Center in Piano Row. Students can show up and decorate their very own pumpkin, anytime from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in room 118. I'm going to decorate mine with one symbol from the past 5 years, twerking, Gangnam Style, Rebecca Black, Gaga's meat dress, and of course, the inauguration of historic Vice President Joe Biden. If you have any questions, feel free to email campuscenter@emerson.edu. Domestic violence is a big problem in this country, but Emerson is here to help. The network /Law Red is visiting Emerson to do a workshop on same-sex domestic violence Monday, October 28th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Little Building multipurpose room. The network /LA Red is a survivor-led LGBTQ organization that provides support services for victims as well as education and awareness. The workshop will share the skills necessary for creating healthy relationships. This event is open to only Emerson students and is sponsored by Eagle. For more information, call or email to Keisha Morgan at 617-824-8637. Are you a writer? Do you plan to spend the rest of your life trapped in front of a computer trying to work from home, but getting writer's block so badly that you end up spending 3 hours on Facebook? Then this event might be for you. Tuesday, October 29th, Emerson is hosting a writer's panel in the Billboardy Theater from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The experts on the panel are people with exciting careers in writing and editing that will speak to their experiences writing freelance and for major publishing agencies. Refreshments will be served, but space is pretty limited, so make sure you RSVP soon at either careers@emerson.edu or on eHire. For more information, feel free to contact Emerson's Career Services. For all you vegetarians out there, did you know that there is a food festival this weekend? Well, Cary Spector has all the information for you tree-loving plant people. Let's check it out.
Vegetarians. For years, vegetarianism has gained popularity across the globe. It's no longer just a diet, but rather a way of life. Hello, I'm Cary Spector, and if you are interested in veggies or food in general, listen up, because this week on Weekend in the Bean, we are talking about the Boston Vegetarian Food Festival, happening this weekend. What is it? Well, we're about to sit down with the veggies in charge to see what it's all about.
So, what exactly is this festival?
Okay, so this festival, it's in its 18th year, and it's a vegetarian food festival. So there's going to be vendors from all sorts of parts of the country having all sorts of things. So some exhibitors will have free samples of foods to try, kind of meat alternatives or dairy alternatives. There'll be like a vegan soft serve ice cream truck in the front, and there's going to be speakers throughout both days talking about different issues, about doing cooking demos, talking about the environmental effects of the animal agriculture industry, and why it's healthier to be meat-free.
Mm-hmm. So then is this event really only for vegetarians, or can meat eaters?
That's a really good question. So in past years, we've done kind of quick surveys of people, and it's been about half are meat eaters or omnivores and half are vegetarians and vegans. So it's definitely not just for vegetarians. It's really for maybe veg-curious people, or just people who want some free food.
As a college student, will there be, kind of things marketed towards us, like trying to make vegetarian meals on a budget?
Well, first of all, there will be free food.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably good for college students, and it is all free. So it's free to get in. The talks are free. It's free parking. The tea stop is right across the street. It's on the Southwest Corridor, so you can bike there. So all that kind of is helpful for college students. So it's 11 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Well, there you have it, Emerson students. Looking for a fun way to get free food and celebrate veggies and vegetarianism alike? Come on down to the Reggie Lewis Athletic Center this Saturday and Sunday. That's all for me. Cary, out. See you guys next week.
Well, that's all we have for this week's Common Agenda. I'm your host, Mariah Terry, and come back here next week to see Colby and I. Same time, same place. See you then.